I was just checking.
Hi, June. Best. You got it.
What else? Is it done? Are you done? Are you done? Yukta, could you just check your WhatsApp?
Yes. हेलो पेरेंट्स, हम बस कुछ 5 मिनट और रुकेंगे, फिर हम शुरू करते हैं. Rama, should we start?
We'll start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening, parents. आज हमारे साथ है उर्मिला मैम, who is a special educator and the founder of the Flipside Workspace. पिछले 20 साल से ज्यादा पिछले 20 साल से ज्यादा समय से चिल्ड्रन और यंग अडल्ट्स विद डिफरेंट लर्निंग नीड्स के साथ उर्मिला मैम काम कर रही हैं. उनके काम का एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट रहा है एकेडमिक्स के बियॉन्ड सपोर्ट करना. आज मैम हमसे एक ऐसे टॉपिक पे बात करेंगी जो हमारे बच्चों के प्रेजेंट के साथ साथ उनके फ्यूचर के लिए भी इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बिल्डिंग लाइफ स्किल्स फॉर द फ्यूचर, यानी कि भविष्य के लिए जीवन कौशल. हम बच्चों के एकेडमिक्स और लर्निंग पर तो काफी फोकस करते हैं, लेकिन उन्हें फ्यूचर के लिए प्रिपेयर करने में जो लाइफ स्किल्स है वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं. आज मैम हमारे साथ शेयर करेंगी कि हम इन स्किल्स को बच्चों के एवरीडे लाइफ में कैसे इनकरेज कर सकते हैं. Thank you so much, Urmila ma'am, for joining us today, and a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Yukta. Thank you, Nayi Disha, for this, and welcome to all the parents here. My name is Urmila, and जैसे युक्ता आपको बोले हैं, I'm the founder of This and That as well as Flipside. But before I became all that, I became a mother, just like you all. I have 2 children. I have an older one, Yajushi, who's a lawyer, and my younger one, Parikshit, who's 28 years old. He's hopefully here in the webinar today. And he mentors our students at Flipside. उसी के वजह से मैं आज ये जर्नी में हूँ. Otherwise, I don't think I would have gotten into this field at all. So over the last 23 years of working with children जिनको neurodiversity है और अभी हम लोग young adults और adults के साथ deal करते हैं, my understanding of what we need to teach our children has completely changed. 23 years में when my son was actually 3 years old, मैं सब पेरेंट्स के जैसे विश्वास करती थी कि एकेडमिक्स पे ही फोकस करना है, थेरेपीज पे ही फोकस करना है, कि जो भी चैलेंजेस हैं वी हैव टू ओवरकम इट. बट when I look back today, I often wish that someone had shown me कि कोई और भी तरीका होता है, and I'd like to share that journey with you all today. Flipside Workspace जो हम लोग स्टार्ट किए हैं around 4 years ago, we teach all the young adults and adults who are above 15 life skills, independence, vocational readiness, and preparing them for a meaningful job participation in the community. While I was working with these young adults, I changed my perspective for that reason. So many of these skills we were trying to build जब बच्चे, I can't call them bache, they're all adults. They were all 18, 20, 25. We even have a 38, 39-year-old with us. And I wish that we had all started much earlier. So today's webinar is going to be that conversation between us parents, more than just a professional, and how early we can begin. If I say vocational training, yes, I would say beginning vocational training very, very early. And how we can start teaching our children at every age. That's what I'm looking at. I want this to be thoda interactive, so I would like you all to answer when I ask you all certain questions. I hope that's okay with you all.
Yes.
So I used this presentation some time back in a conference, and it was well received by the people there. So I'm using quite a few of those slides again today. I began with this. So if I can ask all your parents to close your eyes and imagine that however old your child is,
मैम आ जाएंगे 5 बजे.
तो आप ये सोचिए कि आपका बच्चा अभी 30 इयर्स का है. सुबह उसको कौन जगाएगा? और वो उठे बाद से क्या करेगा? उसको कौन रिमाइंड करेगा कि आपको दांत ब्रश करना है, नेक्स्ट क्या करना है? उसकी कोई दोस्त है क्या? एंड डज ही हैव अ रीजन टू गेट आउट ऑफ बेड? उठ के वो करेगा क्या? वो कहीं काम पे जाएगा, कुछ एंजॉय करेगा, उसके फ्रेंड्स होंगे क्या? वो अपना खुद का मील कुक कर सकता है क्या, पैक कर सकता है क्या, वो खुद का बेड बना सकता है क्या? अगर उसको किसी की जरूरत हो और हम लोग अगर कल नहीं हो, तो डज ही हैव समबडी हु ही कैन कॉल? सो आई वांट यू ऑल टू नाउ ओपन योर आईज एंड आई वांट यू ऑल टू टेल मी what is it that you all felt when I said all these things? As a parent, what did you all feel?
मैडम मेरी बेटी, मैं पद्मजा श्रीवास्तव
हाँ जी।
मेरी बेटी डाउन्स बच्ची है मैडम, अराउंड 28 ईयर्स की। वो उठ जाती है अपने आप सुबह, लेकिन उसको थोड़ा सा मुझे बताना पड़ता है कि गीतिका उठो, जाओ टॉयलेट जाओ। मतलब अभी तक वो इंडिपेंडेंट, फुल्ली इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं हुई है मैडम। तो मुझे लगता है कि मेरे बाद कोई तो केयर टेकर मुझे रखना पड़ेगा, या किसी रेजिडेंशियल स्कूल में उसको रखना पड़ेगा।
तो ये सब बातें मैं जो बोली, तो आपको कैसे लगा?
मैं एक पल को तो सोचने लगी।
एक शब्द अगर आपको बोलना पड़े, एंजाइटी लगा, या
हाँ,
डर लगा, या
डर नहीं है
अनसर्टेनिटी?
मैडम, एंजाइटी।
एंजाइटी। एनीबडी एल्स? Is this what all of you were feeling? One or the other?
यस मैम।
Fear.
गुड इवनिंग मैम। मैम मैं भी बहुत मतलब मेरे तो डेली मैं भी सोचती हूँ कि क्या होगा मेरे जाने के बाद फ्यूचर में, क्योंकि मेरा बेटा भी फुली इंडिपेंडेंट तो नहीं है। तो क्या वो कैसे करेगा फ्यूचर में, क्योंकि उसका कोई भाई बहन भी नहीं है अभी। तो वो सिंगल चाइल्ड है, तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है कि उसके बाद उसका क्या होगा।
ओके, तो हम लोग इसके बारे में बात करेंगे आयुषी। वी विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट। Just 1 second. I'm not able to hear the participants that well. It's full, the sound. Is that? But the other sound was coming loud.
Okay. Participants are not feeling. So,
Oh, okay. No problem. Not an issue. ठीक है. Anyone else? Any other parent would like to speak? Say what they were feeling?
I'm feeling well.
हाँ जी. Sorry, I couldn't hear.
I would say helplessness also to a certain extent, because we don't know how to teach them. Like we kind of remind them, but it's like now they are totally dependent on the reminders.
Right.
It's like sometimes I feel like my son, I should be like, I'm like a bit sarcastic here, but like he's breathing on his own. That's a huge thing. Like I don't have to tell him that abhi saans lo, abhi chodo. Like every single task has to be reminded multiple times for him to, I've reached a level where you feel kind of mentally exhausted, that when will they themselves be able to understand what needs to be done at what time. Like आप काम भी सिखा दोगे तो that awareness that they need to do certain things at a certain time, not like कि जब दिल किया तो they get up and then they think okay चलो मैं शाम को 5 बजे नहा लेता हूँ, that types.
How old is your child, Smriti?
He's 18.
18. Okay. So we'll go through our slides now. And once we're done, I'm open to questions or any conversations. It doesn't have to be questions also. We can also talk about caregiver fatigue, because what you're talking is exactly that. That exhaustion is that. And I think a lot of us mothers go through it. I still go through it, being a special educator and running a space like this. But I think we need to talk about that too. So let me get on with this. And I think every person sitting here has felt at least one of these emotions, and so have I. So this is a question which is troubling all of us. is the biggest fear that all of us parents have, and what will happen to my child when I'm not around. For years, मैं खुद अपने आप से यही पूछती थी, पर over the 23 years, I have seen a shift. 23 years ago, पेरेंट्स आके पूछते थे, आप मेरे बच्चे को स्पेलिंग सिखा दोगे, कॉम्प्रिहेंशन सिखा दोगे, बेटर ग्रेड्स ला सकते हो क्या? बट आजकल पेरेंट्स ऐसे नहीं पूछते. पेरेंट्स ऑल्सो आस्क अबाउट डिफरेंट थिंग्स.
कबीर जाके लेटो.
Aksa, can you please mute yourself, please? Today they ask, what will happen to my child when I'm not around? So somewhere along this journey, I've realized कि हम लोग सिर्फ एक half of the question पूछ रहे हैं. The other half of the question is, what can I do today so that my child needs me a little less tomorrow? That is what we as parents have to see. How is it that we can make them a little more independent each day? Because none of us can control how long we'll be here, but every one of us can start preparing our children to become a little more independent. And that's what I'm hoping that we can do
Excuse me,
together.
ma'am.
Today's session, I've called it Building Futures Before They Begin. And I hope that by the end of today's session, each one of you will go back with one thought, that vocational readiness doesn't begin when our children become adults. It begins much earlier than we think. And that's what I'd like us to explore today together.
तो बिल्कुल फर्राटेदार बोल रहा है. नहीं है.
If we can understand what I mean by future readiness. For our children, future readiness is not just preparing them for a job कल. It's more adult life के लिए कैसे अपने prepare कर रहे, choices बनाना, contribute करना, independent रहना. And most important part is कि 18 साल पे नहीं start होता है. It begins earlier. It's something that we build gradually through everyday skills. रोज जो हम लोग सिखाते हैं, रोज जो हम लोग करते हैं, and experiences that our children as they are growing. So what does this really look like? Future readiness, हम लोग जो बात कर रहे हैं. आप ये अगर you look at all these images here, it's actually a journey. It actually begins with independent living skills, learning to look after themselves. पहले खुद का देखभाल करना सीखना पड़ेगा. पार्टिसिपेट इन होम रूटीन्स. हम लोग कितनी माएँ हैं जो बोलते कि अरे मैं कर देती हूँ क्योंकि फास्टर हो जाएगा काम, बट वो नहीं है. इट्स नॉट वेदर इट्स फास्ट और इट्स नॉट वेदर ही और शी इज डूइंग इट परफेक्टली. द थिंग इज, आर यू कंसिस्टेंटली मेकिंग देम डू समथिंग? आर दे मेकिंग चॉइसेस एंड बिकमिंग less dependent on others? Then we move towards community living skills, learning to travel, shop, use money, community में navigate करना, safety understand करना, और responsible choices बनाना. Somewhere within all of this, we are already building vocational readiness. वो मैं आपको बताऊंगी कि कैसे हम लोग vocational readiness build कर रहे हैं. Because when a child learns to follow an instruction, complete a task, wait, communicate, choice बनाता है, अपनी चीजों की देखभाल खुद करता है, या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेता है, घर में कोई भी काम करने का, we are already preparing them for what will eventually be expected in a workplace also. As they grow older, we can give them real work experiences, volunteer करना, supported work करना, internships, and eventually real workspace. Financial independence बहुत importance है. Not just to learn how to, I'm not saying financial independence के खुद कमाए, of course खुद कमाए, but even to understand that has to start very early. Money spend करना, save करना, budget करना, plan करना, वो सब आप 18 पे start करोगे, it's not going to happen. And finally, we want them to have social and community participation. Relationships हो, recreation हो, volunteering करें, contributing करें, और generally एक sense of purpose हो हम लोग के life में. तो मैं जब ये slide देखती हूँ, मेरे को 6 separate stage नहीं दिखते. मेरे को एक ही journey रहता है जो childhood में ही start हो जाता है. And that is what I want to talk to you. I don't know how old each of your kids are, but whatever the ages, we can begin that. What can we start teaching at, say, when they are 3 years old? What can we build when they are 6, when they are 10? What can we strengthen through the teenagers? How is it that all these eventually prepare for a young adult? Because 18 तक wait नहीं करना है. Now, let's start working now with them. मैं आपको एक क्वेश्चन अभी फिर पूछना चाहती हूँ कि when do you think future readiness start होगा? At what age do you think we can start for future readiness when we say कि वो कल कुछ काम करे, बाहर जाए, पैसा थोड़ा मैनेज करे, खुद का टाइम मैनेज करे? When do you think all that starts? At what age?
Ma'am, I think as early as possible because I mean, learning has for our kids it takes lots of repetition and lots of exposure. So I think the early we start, uh, the better it is. My son is 9 right now, and I'm thinking to teach him how to independently use a lift. He knows how to live, that we live on first floor. His teacher lives on 12th floor, but he has never independently like alone. So I'm trying to teach him that skill, and I know it will take me, I don't know, maybe months before, and I'm even not sure it's the right age. So that sometimes confuses me if it's the right age or if I'm pushing too hard. That's also a concern for me.
If your child is already 9, I don't think you're pushing anything. When we look at the future slides, you'll understand how at each age, we all parents can actually start different activities, which then become skill sets for them. Okay. Because if we know that an adult will eventually need to manage their own time, they follow instructions, communicate, make choices, handle money, travel safely, work with others, manage their own emotions, why do we have to wait till they are adults? Okay. So throughout the rest of this webinar, I want us to look at one simple question. What can we start building today that'll help our child for tomorrow? And that's why we'll start looking at it at each different age and stage. If I tell you that vocational readiness actually begins or future readiness actually begins in childhood, many of you must be thinking कि मैं क्या बात कर रही हूँ. पर आप ये पिक्चर्स देखिए, ये 4 पिक्चर्स हैं. एक में है a child is waiting for their turn. एक में है वो खुद का स्कूल बैग पैक कर रहा है. एक में है कि वो हेल्प कर रहा है घर के कामों में. और एक है कि he is completing a task, homework. इफ आई टेल यू कि ये सब आगे जाके वोकेशनल स्किल्स हैं, आप बोलेंगे मैडम मैं तो लाइफ स्किल्स अभी का बात कर रही हूँ, तो आप मेरे को वोकेशनल स्किल्स बाद का क्यों बता रहे हो? बट दिस इज व्हाट कनेक्ट्स फ्रॉम टुडे व्हेन योर चाइल्ड इज as young as Shilpi, you said 9, no, Pallavi, you said 9, right? I think from earlier than that. So there's never not a right time to teach them. These may look like everyday life skills, but they are actually the foundation in which the future readiness is beginning. So if we look at the age from 3 to 6, one thing I'd like to say before I show any of these slides, every child develops. सब बच्चों का डेवलप होने का स्टेज अलग रहता है, पेस अलग रहता है. Some kids may achieve a skill earlier, some may achieve it a little later, some may need lifelong support, but we are going to keep trying. These are not milestones, these are not expectations. They are just simply examples in the direction in which we all parents can keep moving. गोल ये नहीं है कि बच्चा परफेक्ट हो, गोल ये है कि हम लोग प्रोग्रेस करें. The examples I'm sharing today are not meant to suggest that every child will learn all of these tasks, any of these tasks at a same age. Every child follows their own developmental journey. The important thing is that we continue building independence from wherever the child is today. So, if I tell you that future readiness begins as early as the age 3, would you believe it? Because you're saying your child is 9, you're saying your child is 18, and you're wondering when the right time is. But I'm telling you, we need to begin as young as 3. If I tell you that if the child has to learn to wait for their turn, what does it mean when they're older? Or if they have to eat independently today, what does it mean when they're older? If they have to follow a simple instruction, what does it mean when they're older? If they have to put away toys, what does it mean when they're older? Any of these instructions, what does it even mean? Aage jaake, when they are older. So washing your hands, you're looking at personal hygiene. Simple instruction, they should be able to follow instructions. आगे जाके अगर कोई भी ऑफिस में काम करे, they have to be able to follow the instruction. Small thing about choosing between two sets of clothes. आप बोलेंगे 3 साल का, but I'm telling you, my granddaughter is 2 years old and she already wants to choose what clothes she wants to wear. So I think we need to start as early as 3 years to get them as independent as possible. Do you see now what's happening? We move from doing your own jobs to a future readiness between 6 to 10 years of age. खुद को fold करने दीजिए. How many of you parents allow your children in this age group or even probably even older to fold their own clothes? Do they do it?
Yes, ma'am, they do. At the age of 5 only, my child used to do.
Fabulous. I think it's
He used to
fabulous because
iron. Now
what are you
he
teaching
used to
your
iron
child?
my used to iron my t-shirts and his father t-shirt as well. And his school.
Fabulous. So happy to hear that. But I know
Even
there are
he
a lot of
stays
us.
even he stays independent to 7 days camp without us, residential camp.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Your name is Veer,
My
Purva. How
my
can I
name is
address you?
Purva Jain.
Purva.
Purva Jain.
Purva,
My child name.
it's
Yeah,
a good
mine
thing. I
is.
mean, I think it's a good thing you started so early. And if
बिकॉज
he's
मेरा ऐसा था कि जितनी जल्दी उनकी लाइफ से बाहर हम लोग आ जाएं तो दैट विल बी गुड सो ही इज
yes,
9 नाउ और 100% ही इज इंडिपेंडेंट लाइक लिफ्ट में
yeah,
अलग अकेले से जाके बाजू की शॉप से कुछ सामान लेके ग्रोसरी मतलब कुछ भी लेके आना प्लस सोसाइटी गेट से डिलीवरीज लेके आना ही इज एबल टू डू एवरीथिंग
Purva ma'am, what is the diagnosis of your child, please?
डीएस डाउन सिंड्रोम
Okay, ma'am, there is one question to you, ma'am, because matlab, like I have seen many children with Downs, but with Downs, there is the social communication part is not challenged. Please, could you bit elaborate it on people with ASD? Why? Because they know that yelling and shouting is bad, but when they have a meltdown, they are unable
लाइक
to
वी हैव नॉट
express.
डन एनीथिंग एक्स्ट्रा वी डिड द सेम लाइक हम बाकी जो सारे बच्चों के साथ करते हैं या हम जैसे
No, no,
अपब्रिंगिंग हुआ है हमारा सो वी डू द सेम एज मतलब आई डू मतलब पर्सनली आई डिड द सेम विथ माय चाइल्ड कोई एक्स्ट्रा उसको अलग से ट्रीटमेंट नहीं मिलता था
नहीं नहीं मैम मैं आपसे नहीं पूछ रही हूँ मैं मैम से पूछ रही हूँ मैम माय क्वेश्चन वाज आई थिंक मैम द my question goes to you that people with down syndrome they do not have significant social challenges. For example, if I am talking about my daughter is about 8.5 years now, and I won't say that she is fully independent, but yes, I would say that she is matlab, touch wood, going in a normal school, she is understanding what the teacher is saying even when it comes to things like SST. But the social communication part is challenged because in autism children do not matlab, in spite of the thing, she has only one friend, and that too when the child is pushing about 10 times, will you be my friend, will you be my friend, will you be my friend, or matlab, whatever, I don't know what they are communicating, but if anyone has taken an extra effort, so could you please elaborate these social skills in these like routine with ASD? These people are very much routine dependent. Like if you draw a routine chart, they will follow it the way robots do. But please, can you elaborate as they are growing? And earlier also, she was very much settled. But the social part is really nil because they are always self-absorbed in themselves. Even when they are playing with other children, they are only taking their turn and then they are standing quietly. So, ma'am, please, ma'am.
Yes, I will. Can we do that in the last 15 minutes when we have our question answer sessions, if you don't mind? I'll take this up first.
Okay, ma'am. And
Okay.
ma'am, while you are going through the seminar, ma'am, please elaborate more on, matlab, please elaborate some strategies also because, ma'am, I'm really like fed up. My husband is no more. I'm a single mother, and somehow I am managing my child, and she is too much introvert. Like she's telling me, if I
So
say we are
what
not going to
challenge
buy.
you are facing? What challenge you are facing? Could you please connect me in a personal? We'll talk and discuss. And I'll help to ready to help you.
Okay. Ma'am, my general question was that in autism there is a lot of challenges regarding controlling of emotions.
Sure.
So, like as you are telling us about the day-to-day task, ठीक है, day-to-day task she is doing, but independently I cannot live, because when there is a meltdown, supposedly in about a week or 10 days, then at that time she is unable to control her emotions. So, matlab, I am stuck midway if I keep her at my relative's home. I am just saying example, if I have an emergency situation and that time she has a meltdown, then matlab, for that period she has to be left alone. Like that time she would maybe yell, she would shout. So bas ma'am, my concern was this कि मतलब if you can tell from your years of experience कि a bit more about autism, कि when
Sure.
controlling their emotions, they are able to understand why we are not buying these things, because we don't have money. Just an
Yes, ma'am.
example, they will understand the need of money. I mean, not need, the importance of money. But if you could please elaborate about this part as well as the social part, because if they are not connecting with others, if they are not making friends, for how long we will be with them? Ultimately they will need to have their friends, their peer group at their home.
Yes, Ritu ma'am, we understand. We'll take questions in the end, okay?
Yeah.
We'll definitely
What's your
address
name?
these
Because
things.
your phone ka thing is coming, so I can address you later when we speak.
My name is Ritu.
Your name is?
Ritu.
Ritu. Okay, Ritu. For sure, we'll take this up. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know whether all of you are working with your children with this, but I would just say that please do let them pack their school bags. Let them know what they have to put into their bag. Let them contribute towards the family, set the table, help in the kitchen chores with you. Even if they are a little slow, let them do it. Because when they contribute, one day they'll be setting a table, probably in a cafe, or arranging products on a shelf, or preparing their own workstation at work. Give them a responsibility. It could be something as simple as feeding a pet, if you all have a pet, or घर में झाड़ है तो let them water the plants. They are learning consistency, responsibility, and that someone is depending on them. And see what they're able to stay focused and complete what they start, whether it is their little bit of homework that they can do, whether it's folding their clothes, whether it's setting the table. What the activity is not the goal. Completing your task is the goal. It's not the mastery which is a goal. Now, when I say we need to work with time and money, I think we need to start pretty early. With time and money, when they are at the age from 6 to 10, I would say you need to have visual schedules for time, timers, build, and understand how long familiar activities take. If they're packing a school bag, how long is it taking? If they are finishing any task that they have then in their hand, how long is it taking? Introduce the clock time gradually according to the child's readiness. You can say school start hoega breakfast ke baad. You're just giving them a concept of what is before and after, which you should be starting a little earlier. Or that you have 10 more minutes to finish your breakfast because we'll get late for school. And then gradually introduce the start and finish times. When it comes to money, I would say make them familiar with denominations. Match a price to the money that's needed. Practice paying for a familiar, simple purchase. कुछ भी हो, अभी एक packet biscuit हो या chips हो, let them know the price, give them that exact change. Let them just go and exchange that money with the person who's there at the store. Let them get back the change. आप अगर कर सकते हो, please do role plays. Children enjoy and learn a lot through role plays. And I would say that please use visual schedules. Someone was just talking to me about, I think it was Smriti. I don't know, Smriti, if you use visual schedules for your child, but I feel that a daily routine visual schedule really helps, because for many autistic individuals, they learn and understand information better when it's presented visually. We have seen that visual schedules can make routines much more clearer. It reduces uncertainty, and it helps young adults know and understand what is expected of them. So this is something that a visual schedule that I use even for my son at home. We use it for each and every student at the school also. They have to have a visual schedule, and trust me, if you have this, it becomes much easier for you to get your chores done and for them also to understand what it is.
Ma'am, I have a question regarding this.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of kids, and initially my kid also, that with visual schedule they become very rigid. Their focus is more on going on to the next task, completing rather than completing this task. Their focus is on going to the next task. What happens next? What happens next? So I have seen a lot of kids developing some kind of anxiety also with this schedule. I mean, yeah, definitely it helps to plan their day, but I think sometimes it creates some kind of rigidity in a lot of kids. So how to address that?
Yeah, so see, that's what I said. Not all our children, like I said in the beginning, not all of us are the same, but we've seen that with most of them, this works. So if they have anxiety to know what is next, or they finish a task faster than the time that's given, then probably you don't need to have a visual schedule for them if they're able to manage without one. But if they need a routine and they need to understand what's coming next, is where I would say they require to have a visual schedule. Do they know the concept of time? Because understanding the concept of time also is important for them to know what the visual schedule is all about.
Yes, ma'am, but sometimes, like with my son earlier also, like if something goes not as per the visual schedule, he would get very, very anxious. Of late, with lot of exposure and lots of doing the uh, permutation and combination, changing things here and there, he has learned to accept much more than what he used to accept when he was like 5 or 6. So become more acceptance of changes now, but it still to an extent bothers him. And I work with a lot of kids also, and I've seen this with many of the kids that if something goes out of schedule, then they might have a meltdown or something.
Yes, that does happen with a lot of kids because they want a routine. So what I'm talking about is for this was more an answer what Smriti had asked, that you don't know what to do next. You're constantly having to tell them verbally. So instead of verbal, I feel that if we have a visual schedule up for the kids, it works. We do have a student also with us who has a lot of anxiety. If a certain if the schedule said household chores, and for some reason it was not done, and then she would go on saying household chores, we've not done household chores, we've not done household chores, still we tell her that okay, we'll do it post lunch, then she would understand and then be okay with it. So we do see that there are quite a few of our adults, young adults and kids who want a routine, and there is a rigidity in the routine which they have. But I suppose we need to work on that. And if you're already doing it, I think it's great. So for the ones who were asking what a visual schedule is, it is when you're teaching something new, you try showing it visually. A picture, a sequence, or steps, or simple visual schedule can often make the learning much easier to understand. This is what we use in our school, and most of the time it helps. There are some, Anjali, like they do not want to know what comes next. We just need to tell them what is next and they are okay with it, or we just write it on the board and they are fine because we have the routine just written outside also. So that also works. But most of the time I've seen visual schedules do help for everything, even for my own son. He's 28 today, but having a visual schedule up definitely helps to understand the passage of time, the concept of time. And yeah, he's 28 today, but yes, we do use it. Now, when we talk about future readiness, we are talking about when a child is between 10 and 18. I'm sure now you're seeing the connection between what we are teaching our children and what future readiness is actually about. Um, if our children are struggling with the concept of money, that's why it's important to start way early on, because we can't come to being 12, 13 and then saying that, the child doesn't know how to manage money. We had a 18-year-old student who came to us where the mother's main thing was कि ये बाहर बिस्किट खरीदने जाता है, 10 रुपीज का ओरियो का बिस्किट रहता है, 4 पैकेट लेगा, he will give a 100 rupee note. There are times he gets back the change, there are times he doesn't get back the change. So parents are like, he's getting cheated. Now what's going to happen tomorrow? So for that, if we started earlier on when it's the concept of money or time, it helps. That's all I'm trying to say, that if we can start earlier, if there are parents here whose kids are between the age of 6 and 10 or 12, I would say start earlier. The same is true for time, managing time, understanding elapsed time, planning a schedule, keeping commitments. All these are difficult for our children, but these are all skills that have to be taught and they can make a difference. So now we are moving towards functional independence, but at the child's own level. So I would say use visual calendars and schedules, set alarms or reminders, understand when something needs to happen, practice planning, what needs to happen before leaving home, gradually work on elapsed time. For them to understand time, I would always say begin working with the backward chaining of time. कि आप अगर रात में 9:30 या 10 बजे सो रहे हो, what did you do before that? What did you do before that? Actually, that works for children to understand the concept of time. It doesn't work because when you're talking about time which will happen later, because that becomes more abstract for them. If you start working on elapsed time, that the day started in the morning at say 6:30, but you've had dinner and you're sleeping today at 10 o'clock. What did you do? What did you do before your dinner, before you washed, you took a shower? What did you do before that? Which class did you go for? What did you, how long were you there? Before that, what did you do? Before that, what did you do? Till you reach the morning hours that they have woken up. And when it comes to money, I would say make them handle money by the time they are between 10 and 18 years. Meaningful purchases like paying and checking the change. If you're sending them on a grocery shopping list with, whatever you need to buy, you need a packet of half kg of dal, or you need rice, or you need a lauki, onions. You give them that money and say, this is what you need to go and buy, and calculate and check the change before they go also. Today we have a Zepto, we have Blinkit, we have so many things. So these are things which makes the concept of time and money, which is a little more abstract, more concrete. So don't look at these age groups that are given as deadlines. They are stages, they're not expectations. Your child may be 12 and still be working on a skill that I mentioned when he was 6 years old. But that's okay. You make your child functional and make it visual, practice it repeatedly, and then build up the next step.
Ma'am,
And
how to see the watch, like clock, watch दिखाना कैसे सिखाना होगा? Time clock दिखाना कैसे सिखाना होगा?
so we begin with hours, because when you show an hour, it works so much better than
So
showing a half
hour
an
he
hour,
knows,
15 minutes.
hour I did, and hour he knows. But that
Okay.
15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45, that I am not getting.
So where do you live?
Ma'am, Pune.
Pune. No, because IKEA has this beautiful clock. Otherwise, what we used to do is we took a big
Yes,
clock.
IKEA is here only, also Pune, also IKEA.
Yeah, so they have this beautiful clock which has colored images for 15 minutes, then for 5 minutes each. And our students are really learning well with that. Otherwise, what we used to do is take a regular clock, and usme, after we taught the concept of 1 hour, then we taught them half an hour, then we would teach them 45 minutes, then we would start to teach them like 10 minutes and 5 minutes. But they started to understand it better with this colored clock. But you can even create your own. I can send an image of it later to Yukta, and she can share it with you all also.
Sure, ma'am, sure. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So the next thing, pardon? Is someone saying something? Okay, one more
Ma'am,
thing, teamwork. Teamwork is another important skill. No one works alone, okay? Whether they are at home working, whether they are outside with friends, whether they are working at a workplace. Every workplace expects us to work with other people, to listen, to contribute, and work together. Now, problem solving इसमें जो दिया है, you can start working at it at home from a very young age. You can say,
पढ़ना नहीं करना
if my water bottle is
समझते हो?
empty and they want to drink, what is it that they can't, what if they can't find their favorite toy? What if they smell something on the floor? What if they can't open their lunch box? What if the pencil they want to use is not there? What if they've forgotten something that they kept somewhere? Instead of immediately solving the problem for them, I think we as mothers should pause and ask, what can we do? Like, ask your child, what is it that we can do? And give them the choices, let them try, let them make mistakes, and let them think of the solution. It may not be the right solution, but at least you have stimulated that in their brain के वो कोई और तरीके से सोचे. You know, they are looking at the options. And that's what problem solving will become when they are older. Our children also need help with emotional regulation. They need a lot of support. First, they need to understand and recognize what feelings they are feeling right now. Then they need the vocabulary. They have to be able to express what those words are. So I would say if your child does not understand, you need to have cards which have the emotion and what goes with it, and then build up the vocabulary for them. It's very important for our children to have the vocabulary to express themselves emotionally. We use a lot of visuals and teach them different ways to stay calm and make good choices and understand also what simple breath work can do. Teach them how they can do different kinds of breath work. It can be fun. A candle rakhi and say just blow that candle. So what are you doing? When you're blowing hard, they're actually regulating their emotion when their breath also gets regulated. Am I back on? Sorry.
Yes.
मैम थोड़ा मनी कॉन्सेप्ट का भी बता दीजिए.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Urmila ma'am. You're able to hear
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
We can't see your
Thank
screen anymore.
Yes.
Yukta, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay,
can hear
okay.
you. But
मनी
we can't see
कॉन्सेप्ट का
your
मैं जैसे आपको
screen.
बोली, मीनिंगफुल परचेजेस उनसे आप कराइए. अगर ये एज में 10 से 18 साल के हो, पे करना, चेंज चेक करना घर में आप कीजिए. पहले आप बाहर से कुछ लेके आएंगे, 2 पैकेट दाल हैं, तो उनको पूछिए ये पैकेट दाल कितने का है. उनको बोलिए कि रियल मनी दीजिए और बोलिए कि मेरे को ये एग्जैक्ट चेंज बताइए. अगर आप शॉप करने जा रहे हो, आप अगर बोले हो कि 1 किलो आलू लेना है और 1 पैकेट चावल लेना है, तो पहले से उनको बताइए कि 1 पैकेट चावल के लिए इतना पैसा लगता है. शो देम दैट मनी. 1 किलो प्याज के लिए इतना पैसा लगता है. मेक देम कैलकुलेट, बट मेक देम सेंड देम आउट टू गेट इट देम सेल्व्स. छोटा सा बजट रखिए शॉपिंग ट्रिप के लिए. नीड्स और वांट्स क्या है, 10 और 18 के बीच में आपको नीड्स और वांट्स भी बताना है. बच्चों को पता रहना चाहिए कि नीड क्या है और वांट क्या है. नहीं तो उन लोग को लगता है कि सारे वांट्स उनके नीड्स ही हैं. एंड अगर उनको कुछ चाहिए, अगर अब जैसे, अब मैं कैसे बताऊं, उनको कोई खिलौना चाहिए या उनको कोई कुछ जूता चाहिए दैट दे रियली वांटेड, देयर फेवरेट शू, मेक देम स्टार्ट सेविंग टुवर्ड्स इट. And I think that's how we can start working with them for an adult life आगे जाके. और डिजिटल पेमेंट्स भी बच्चों को सिखाना जरूरी है. वी हैव टू स्टार्ट आफ्टर द एज ऑफ 16. यू हैव टू स्टार्ट शोइंग इट टू देम, बिकॉज हम लोग को लगता है आफ्टर 18 सिखाना है, बट इट गेट्स लेट. इट्स डिफिकल्ट फॉर देम टू लर्न.
मैम मेरा भी यही क्वेश्चन है इसमें कि आजकल मोस्टली हम लोग लाइक यूपीआई यूज करते हैं पेमेंट्स करने के लिए, तो बच्चे को वो पहले इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहिए कि रियल मनी यूज करना, माने हाउ शुड बी प्रोसीड, कोई प्रोसीजर है इसका?
हाउ ओल्ड इज योर चाइल्ड?
9.
I would say real money.
Real money, and you can also
I would say use real money
teach
to understand what the concept is, because he's able to see something that is concrete in his hand. Whatever said and done, UPI is more abstract, right? He's able to see the digits and the numbers. But when he's able to look at the money, he's able to manipulate that money. If you give him a 500 and you say, give me these change in what, how many hundreds will make a 500 or how many 50s will make 100. That's how you're supposed to start. From that, UPI will come much later.
you can take them to the supermarkets on weekends.
Yeah, like right now he can, I give him I make him write a wish list or like a grocery list, and 5 items he is supposed to pick from the aisle and keep it in the basket and give it to the shopkeeper. That part he knows. But when it comes to money, that we
No,
have
no,
to
with
pay
that
that.
you can ask, you can make the diary and ask that, और उस डायरी में आप लिख सकते हो पहला MRP, दूसरा एक्सपायरी डेट और तीसरा उसका वेट कितना है उस पर्टिकुलर आइटम का। और इस तरीके के जो घर में यूज करते हैं, तो जो उसके रैपर्स बचते हैं वो आप देख के डेली बेसिस पे उसका एक फोल्डर बना के और डेली आपको ये पर्टिकुलर 5 मिनट्स की एक्टिविटी करानी है, देन ओनली यू विल गेट टू नो। ये सब चीज आपके बच्चे को 1 महीने में ही सीख जाएगा यदि आप रेगुलर प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो। दैट्स माय एक्सपीरियंस।
Purva, you're right. Because also when you take the child to a store, the visual stimulation is so much. There are so many products out there in the store. How is the child going to pick up what you want? So things that you use in the house is what I would suggest you use to teach them the concept of money also. Yeah.
Well, ma'am, we can't see your screen.
Okay. Now, I want to tell you about this one of our students called Gokul. He joined us 3 years ago. He's 26 years old. हर सुबह उनके सिस्टर बेगमपेट से एक रैपिडो बुक करती थी, और जब वो फ्लिपसाइड पहुंचता था वो हम लोग को ओटीपी देती थी. वी वुड शेयर इट विद द ड्राइवर, मेक द पेमेंट, एंड लेटर गोकुल हम लोग को रुपया वापस देता था. He depended on somebody else for every step of the journey. One of the first things, अब वो आया था work skills सीखने के लिए, to start a job. But how would he start a job if he's not even able to commute? Now that's the future readiness I'm asking you all to start at a young age. We assessed where he was functionally, and then we started working on navigation skills. उसको पहले landmarks सिखाए, उसके घर से Flipside. उसको पढ़ना भी नहीं आता था. He finished his grade 10, but he wasn't able to read any of the landmarks. We had to actually do functional reading for what he required. Landmarks which were from his house to our center. And then we started to teach him the Rapido app. We also taught him, basically the landmarks was so that he doesn't get lost. एक दिन उसको कोई Rapido कहीं और छोड़ दिया, and he couldn't even tell us what was around. So we had to actually start working from that ground level to work with him. And OTP कैसे करना, payment कैसे करना, all that we started to teach. Then one morning, sister से call नहीं आया, so हम लोग सोचे कि शायद तबीयत ठीक नहीं और वो नहीं आ रहे. और फिर थोड़ी देर बाद गोकुल आया चलते हुए एकदम बड़ा फेस लेके, दैट्स गोकुल. एंड वो बोला कि मैं आज रैपिडो
उर्मिला
खुद
मैम,
बुक करके आया, मैं ओटीपी दिया और मैं खुद पेमेंट किया.
sorry to interrupt.
Urmila ma'am,
फॉर
Ma'am,
अस, पार्डन.
Urmila ma'am, sorry to interrupt. Your screen is not shared.
ओ इज इट?
Yeah.
नाउ
Not yet.
नो मैम।
रिची को एक बार. Sorry, just give me a minute. All that I'm teaching you, I have to learn tech support. I keep calling my son for it.
In the meanwhile, Purva ma'am, could you please guide us that how did you, like you are telling about the expiry date and weight. So can a 10-year-old, like I mean to say 6, 7 or maybe 9-year-old child, can
I
he able
started
to?
I started at the age of 5. जितने भी सारे रैपर्स आते हैं घर के अंदर, जैसे सोसाइटी मतलब टी का आया, फिर हमारे यहाँ दाल का आया, राइस का पैकेट आया, इन सब के सारे पैकेट्स खाली करने के बाद आई कीप अ रिकॉर्ड, मतलब एक प्रॉपर सी फाइल में रखती थी वो सारे, एम्प्टी करके, वॉश करके, नहीं तो ड्राई करके, और उसके बाद एक कॉपी बनाया हुआ है जिसमें लिखा हुआ है एमआरपी, एक्सपायरी डेट, और नीचे उसका वेट, और पर्टिकुलर वो आइटम कौन सा है। ऐसे 4 पूरे कॉलम होते थे, और उस कॉलम का डेली उसका रिवीजन होता था, और जैसे जैसे जो आइटम परचेज करते जाते थे, तो चिप्स खाई या कुरकुरे खाए, कुछ भी बाजार का कुछ भी थोड़ा बहुत भी लिया है, तो उसका
experience for
वो
sharing. Can I
प्रॉपर
just say,
पैकेट लेके, और फिर वो उस चीज का एमआरपी क्या है और उसका वेट क्या है, ये सारा चीज डेली बेसिस पे करते हैं हम लोग, 5 मिनट्स का एक्टिविटी।
गॉट योर पॉइंट। तो उससे उसको एडिशन आ गया कि मतलब अगर हमने 5 चीजें अगर हमने ली,
एडिशन
जैसे
एडिशन तो मैंने जब वो 7 इयर्स का था तभी मैंने उसको कैलकुलेटर इंट्रोड्यूस करा दिया था, और हर ग्रोसरी स्टोर पे कैलकुलेटर लेके हम लोग जाते हैं, चाहे फ्रूट लेने
अच्छा,
जा रहे हो, चाहे
ओके,
कहीं पे भी जा रहे हो, कैलकुलेटर मस्ट है, क्योंकि आज हम भी यदि 183 और 274 बोला है तो आप क्या करोगे, एक बार कैलकुलेटर निकालोगे और कैलकुलेट करोगे, एकदम से पूरा सब कुछ कैलकुलेट
नहीं
आपसे भी
मैम
नहीं
ऐसा
होगा।
नहीं है, नहीं मैम ऐसा नहीं है। आप मेरी बेटी से अभी डिवीजन के फैक्ट पूछो, मल्टीप्लिकेशन के फैक्ट पूछो, मे बी शी इज अ मैथ्स प्रोडिजी, लेकिन मतलब मैंने उसको उस तरीके से ट्रेन किया, इसीलिए जो मेरी लैकिंग है वो मैं आपसे पूछ रही हूँ, मे बी जो मेरी
हाँ
I
मतलब
वो
wanted to
ठीक
see
है,
you do
वो
also
ठीक है,
this
बट
side.
प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ के लिए हमको कैलकुलेटर इज मस्ट ना।
But where's
अभी हर
my
जगह भी मोबाइल में भी हम कभी कभी यूज करते ही हैं वो फंक्शन।
नहीं नहीं वो ठीक है, डन। अच्छा, दूसरी चीज मैं आपसे
रितु
ये
जी,
पूछ
आई
रही
एम
हूँ,
सो
आपको
सॉरी।
इसके इमोशनल पार्ट
रितु जी,
को।
प्लीज, फाइजा दिस साइड फ्रॉम नई दिशा, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट। हमारे पास ना बहुत शॉर्ट टाइम है, हमें रियली ये खत्म करना है। आपको ना एक काम करते हैं, पूर्वा जी का नंबर मैं या फिर युक्ता ले लेते हैं, आपको पर्सनली शेयर कर देंगे, ठीक है? आप उनसे
मैम
कनेक्ट कर
जब
लीजिए।
तक वो बीच में टेक्निकल ग्लिच था तभी तक मैं पूछ रही
हाँ हाँ,
थी।
अब वो सही हो गया, ठीक हो गया, तो
uh,
हम वी आर शॉर्ट ऑफ टाइम।
Faiza, are you able to see now?
यस मैम, आई कैन।
Okay.
ओके,
Okay.
सॉरी ऋतु जी। आप हम
Yeah.
आपको
नहीं
नंबर
नहीं
शेयर कर देते हैं, अगर पूर्वा जी कंफर्टेबल है हम नंबर उनसे ले लेंगे, आपको शेयर कर देंगे, ठीक है?
मैम मत ही शेयर कीजिए, कोई बात नहीं, बीच में टेक्निकल ग्लिच था इसलिए मैंने पूछना जरूरी समझा,
ठीक है,
अदरवाइज
Okay,
कोई
thank
प्रॉब्लम।
you. तो I don't know if you all heard about गोकुल। तो फाइनली उसको सारा हम लोग सिखाए, करीब 6 महीने तो लगे। एंड देन वन डे वो आया नहीं, तो हम लोग सोचे नहीं आ रहा है, पर वो आया भागते स्कूल के अंदर और बोला आज मैं रैपिडो खुद बुक किया, मैं ओटीपी खुद दिया, पेमेंट भी खुद किया। तो हम लोग को इतनी खुशी हुई वो दिन, बिकॉज हम लोग को ये लगा कि कहीं उसमें डिग्निटी, कॉन्फिडेंस, इंडिपेंडेंस आया, और गोकुल बोला कि यस आई कैन डू इट, वो फीलिंग उसमें आया था। सो वंस गोकुल बिकेम मोर कॉन्फिडेंट, वी स्टार्टेड प्रिपेयरिंग हिम फॉर द नेक्स्ट स्टेप। अब वो अपने फादर के छोटे प्लास्टिक प्रोडक्ट्स के बिजनेस में काम करता है, वो मीनिंगफुली काम करता है, हैप्पी है। एंड वोकेशनल रेडीनेस पर देखिए, वी ट्रेन्ड हिम फॉर दिस, फॉर व्हाट रीजन, कि कल इफ ही इज गोइंग टू वर्क समवेयर एल्स, वो खुद का रैपिडो बुकिंग करके जा सके। एंड दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाई वी इन्वेस्ट सो मच टाइम इन बिल्डिंग दीज स्मॉल स्किल्स, बिकॉज वन डे these small skills become confidence, independence, and a meaningful life. I'll go a little faster because I think parents have a couple of questions that, and I see a lot of mothers giving beautiful answers to each other. So I think I'll go a little fast with the slides. So what I would say is, ये आपका child का future है, what you can see a house. तो हम लोग को क्या चाहिए बच्चे के लिए? पर्पस, डिग्निटी, एम्प्लॉयमेंट, कंट्रीब्यूशन, वो रूफ है। पर रूफ को स्ट्रांग रहने के लिए वी हैव टू स्टार्ट एट द फाउंडेशन। सब चीज स्टार्ट होएगा डेली लिविंग स्किल से। इसीलिए मैं बोलती हूँ पेरेंट्स को, डोंट थिंक इट इज नॉट एन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग टू टीच आवर चिल्ड्रन, इट इज एन एक्सट्रीमली इम्पॉर्टेंट स्किल सेट्स फॉर अस टू टीच, whether it's cooking, cleaning, laundry, personal care, packing, organizing, सारा ये फाउंडेशन है फॉर अस टू स्टार्ट। फिर आप नेक्स्ट देखिए, फ्लोर पे क्या है? एग्जीक्यूटिव फंक्शंस हैं। एग्जीक्यूटिव्स क्यों हम लोग को अगर इम्पॉर्टेंट है, क्यों? अगर कोई हम लोग के अभी क्लाउड किचन में कोई एक बेकर है, अगर वो कभी भी लेट आएगा, रेसिपी भूल जाएगा, विजुअल स्केड्यूल फॉलो नहीं करेगा, क्लीन अप नहीं करेगा, तो आप एज ए एम्प्लॉयर वुड यू वांट टू हायर दैट पर्सन? यू डेफिनेटली वुडेंट। So that's where executive function comes in. उनको planning कैसे करना है, organize कैसे करना है, time management, remembering instructions, completing a task, ये सारे skills हम लोग के बच्चों को सिखाना बहुत important है. आप दोनों walls देखिए. Walls are social and emotional skills, and those and communication skills. Now imagine the same baker अभी गुस्सा होता है और जब कोई चीज गलत होता है, आर्ग्यू करता है कोलीग से, खुद के इमोशंस को नहीं समझ पा रहा है, वो दूसरों को कैसे हेल्प पूछेगा? अब ऐसे आप देखिए, कोई एक और बेकर है जो इतना अच्छा बेक नहीं करता है बट रिस्पेक्टफुली बात करता है, फीडबैक एक्सेप्ट करता है, स्केड्यूल फॉलो करता है, टाइम पे आता है. आप किसको चूज करेंगे? द वन हु इज अ फैबुलस बेकर विद सो मेनी चैलेंजेस, or someone who can learn to become a better baker? So that is what executive function skills hai, and they are very, very important for us. And they're literally like walls which are holding the house together. अब आप विंडोज देखिए. विंडोज हम लोग के फंक्शनल डिजिटल स्किल्स हैं. इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड वी नीड टू नो हाउ टू कनेक्ट, वेदर इट्स गूगल मैप्स, वेदर इट्स यूपीआई, रैपिडो, ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग, स्मार्टफोन्स. ये आजकल लग्जरी स्किल्स नहीं रहे हम लोग के लिए, दे आर एवरीडे लाइफ स्किल्स. Now when we look at vocational, the door, the vocational exposure, opportunities आएंगे डोर से ही. If we don't expose our children to workplaces, volunteer करना, कोई community experience करें, internships, family businesses में जाएं, तो employment जब होगा, they'll be so anxious and so nervous. अब आप रूफ को देखिए. Once we work on all of these, don't you think it is strong enough? That is why I'm saying foundation se start kariye. That's why my focus was a lot today on what we can do with life skills. Now next very important thing, I don't know, parents काफी बार पूछते हैं, what does my child enjoy doing? Would you be able to answer that? But I would ask you, what does your child choose to come back to again and again जब कोई पूछता भी नहीं है? अब जैसे एक चाइल्ड को बेक करना अच्छा लगता है वंस इन अ वाइल, तो वो क्या हुआ? रिक्रिएशन हुआ. बट अगर आपका बच्चा बार बार वीडियोस देखेगा, रेसिपीज याद रखेगा, बार बार आके किचन में आपको पूछता रहेगा, आज मेरे को ये बनाना है, आपने जो परसों बनाए थे और कब बनाएंगे ना, दैट इज कॉल्ड पैशन. अब कोई बच्चा अगर ड्रॉ करता है ओकेजनली, बट अगर कोई है जो एक्सपेरिमेंट करता है कलर से, आइडिया, स्टाइल, जब कुछ करेक्ट नहीं है तो बोलेगा कि नहीं ये ऐसे नहीं है, दैट इज व्हाट वी कॉल पैशन. और इफ दे लाइक लिसनिंग टू म्यूजिक, and if they love to sing, if they sing songs on their own, they spend hours practicing, ye aage jaake these can become strengths for us to work on with our kids. The same comes true with talking to people. बहुत लोगों को chat करना अच्छा लगता है, but does he like to greet people? Does he like conversations? Does he help? Can he help some customers or visitors आगे? Those are strengths that we should notice. Recreation वो होता है जो हम लोग एंजॉय करते हैं, पर पैशन होता है वो जो हम लोग बार बार उसको चूज करते हैं. So as parents, I really want to tell you all, please observe what your child is passionate about. What does your child keeps coming back to? What keeps them very happy and engaged for hours? के बोलना ही नहीं पड़े. अब टीवी मत बोलिए, but apart from TV, what is it that your child will keep coming back to? Because those are the strengths I want you to work on. Now, my next slide is about my son. He's Parikshit. He's in the spectrum. He's 28 years old. I don't know if he's here today, but he promised he'll be there in the webinar. उसको एनिमेशन में बहुत इंटरेस्ट है. नॉट क्रिएटिंग इट बट एनालाइज करना. उसको कैमरा एंगल्स, लाइटिंग, कलर पैलेट, बैकग्राउंड डिटेल, स्टोरी टेलिंग, जो आप और मैं शायद नहीं नोटिस करे, ही नोटिसेस ऑल ऑफ दैट. एंड मे बी वो एनिमेटर नहीं बन सकता है, बट हु नोज, ही कैन बिकम प्रॉब्ली एन एनिमेशन रिव्यूअर, या कोई क्वालिटी चेक करे और एक्सेसिबिलिटी में वर्क करे. मेरे को अभी पता नहीं है. ही इज 28, but I still don't know. I know he is very passionate. I did try putting him into animation, but he was not able to create because hand-eye coordination issues थे. तो अब परीक्षित क्या कर सकता है? So we are still looking at that. But today he is mentoring our students in Flipside. वो बच्चों के इमोशंस को समझता है कि वो समझ पा रहे या नहीं. उनको कोई challenges होते हैं तो he is the first one who's actually able to tell us what to do in the workplace. So he does mentor our students at Flipside. Now, when we come to passion, we have another child called Ishanvi. उसको कथक में बहुत passion है. And the reason why I'm telling you is she has performed काफी occasions पे perform की है. पर इसके लिए support रहना जरूरी है from parents. We parents are only focusing on a lot with academics, I feel many a times. But if we are choosing something like this, what Ishanvi's mother Shikha has done, she's been incredibly supportive. She made sure that Ishanvi gets all the opportunities to learn, practice, perform. And that's what we parents can do. We don't know कि आज passion कहाँ ले जाएगा. But when a child finds something they can genuinely enjoy, उनको opportunity दीजिए to pursue it, practice it and become good at it. Because आपको कैसे पता that passion can tomorrow probably become something that they can work towards. And sometimes the passion may open a door to something we never even imagined what it could be. Here's Ishanvi. Faiza, are you able to see?
The video is
We are applying the milk at the top of the plant.
so that it doesn't become dry. Yeah, so it's soft.
If things go bad for you,
Now you mix it.
the weight has got you down on your knees. It's okay to say effort if you just remember this melody. It goes.
मैं आपको ये slides इसलिए दिखा रही हूँ because all these students when they came to us, they're all adults. We are talking about each of them being in their 20s, mid-20s, late 20s, 30s, late 30s. ये सारे बच्चों को ना तो कुकिंग आता था, nor did they did not know the concept of money. They were cheated when it was with money. They didn't know what time they were coming to school, what time they were going back, whether it was the clock. They didn't know how to cook a meal. They didn't know how to fold their clothes. They did not know how to iron their clothes. There are a lot of parents here who are already saying कि हम लोग ये सब करते हैं और बच्चे करते हैं. So I'm really glad. But there may be parents who are not doing that, thinking that this is not important. But trust me, when they get older, these are the things you're going to worry about. So our main thing was what will happen to them after we are no more. And these are the things you need to do while you're there. Now, I'm talking about Karishma. She's 38 years old. वो US citizen है. She came down to Hyderabad for a holiday and they decided to stay back because वहाँ US में और कोई support है नहीं उनको. After the age of 21, they really have no support. So she loves being with children. और हम लोग अभी we are working with her. We took that passion of her working as wanting to work with children, and we are now working as her to be an assistant to a teacher at school. So all these are passions. मैं बोल रही हूँ आपको, look at the passion. That's the only reason all these slides are now coming up. Now this is Shiv. He's 30 years old. When he came to us 6 years ago, he would stammer, struggle करता था words आने. He couldn't speak confidently, but he always loved people. He loved talking to people, but he never knew how to talk to people. So what did we start doing? We started working on conversations, listening, build up confidence, look at social cues, and how to interact with different people. Today, he goes to pop-ups, he takes on different communities, he meets customers, he talks about his products, he answers questions, and he sells. He's selling organic products. He's running his own small business today. The only reason I show this is because tomorrow when our kids are older, these are things that we need to work at. And as parents, we know what our children are passionate about. And that's what I want you all to work on. If I'm looking at life skill track, there are everyday life skills. जैसे मैं बोल रही थी, hygiene, cooking, laundry, money management, communication. If there are any of you who are not talking right now, it all leads towards the number 10, which is independent living. And this is how we teach at school, but all of you, I'm sure you all either are, and if you're not, please do. We are towards the end of it. ये beyond home track है. For beyond home, I mean, parents पूछते हैं कि what after me? We already spoke about it, but I'm going to say don't wait for that day to find out. Give your child the right opportunities today. Just now, I think Purva was talking quite a bit about what she's doing with her child. Maybe her child is able to do it. Maybe some of our children will not be able to do it, but we need to start somewhere. We need to start somewhere small, and trust me, if we do it every day on consistently on a daily basis, you are going to reach a point where you will see that your child can do certain things. So don't get disheartened is what I'll say. Give your child the opportunity today while you're still there to experience the world without you. let them go grocery shopping, let them use public transport, रेस्टोरेंट में ऑर्डर करने दीजिए, दूसरों से बात करने दीजिए, जो भी बात करे, doesn't matter. You don't have to feel awkward or whatever about society or the pressure of society. Let them communicate, let them make mistakes, let them solve problems and try again, because the goal isn't that they can do these things perfectly, but that they know how to do these things, because कहीं ना कहीं उनके दिमाग में रहेगा कि क्या कर रहे हैं. तो बियॉन्ड होम ट्रैक है जो हम लोग बच्चों को एक साल भर सिखाए, बाद से वी टेक देम फॉर एन ओवरनाइटर. Someone here had just said that they send their child for 7 days. Fabulous. But there are most of us parents, when we took our students and went, some of them who are in their 30s have left their parents for the first time ever and gone out. First time ever. So I'm sure there are many such parents here who don't have that kind of support. They don't have probably cousins or family where they can send, or friends who you can send to. But I honestly feel that we need to start working towards that, so that while we are here, we see what is happening with these children. And then independence doesn't happen when we are no longer there. We have to start building while we are here. So I'll just show you one last one. This is the program. A lot of these children have stayed without their parents for the first time. Now, this is the last thing I want to tell you all, कि आप लोग अगर कोई भी therapy vocational center school भेजेंगे, first see whether the program is assessing your child's strength first. अगर वो सिर्फ आपके बच्चे को occupied रखना चाहेंगे center में, I don't know whether that's kind of a place you want to send them to, because you want to see that tomorrow they are independent in their life. Does it teach life skills along with vocational skills? Are communication and emotional regulation a part of the curriculum? Are the opportunities for community-based learning hai ya nahi? Does it provide internships? How is progress measured? And does it prepare your child for meaningful participation? That's something you all have to see. So I'm open to question answers now. Is there anything that you all would, are you all able to hear me?
Yeah, ma'am. Can you hear me? This is Uday.
Yes, Mr. Uday.
Yeah. So my son is 10 years old, and my question is like this is so he goes to a normal school, like all of the normal kids are there, and the school like while taking the admission proclaim that they are inclusive and they kind of take care of the special need kids as well. Take care as in include them in the school as their regular students. And the idea was like this only, that he should be able to learn life skill as well by watching other kids, how they behave, how they interact, and he should be more social. He is autistic, by the way. So, uh, uh, so like, what would you prefer? Should he continue going to the normal schooling only, or should he be admitted to the special needs kids school? And he is at the mild level, and the only issue is he's not that interactive. Like he lacking speech delay issue he has. So I plus as you know, all other autistic kids related symptoms he has. But he is good in academics, while the main concern is about, again, all these things, the interaction with the people and life skills.
Does the school teach life skills, Udayji?
No, not as an independent kind of time, but they have something called as PLC. I don't know the full form, but it is like getting the kid outside of the classroom and interacting with him in one-to-one session instead of the big hall and all other kids.
So, what is it that you are wanting from the school? Because if he's good with academics and you feel that the school is able to support, what is it that your expectation, what is it that they're not meeting your expectation, or what is it that you'd like your child to learn from there?
Sometimes little bit inclusivity, like he feels at times, and not always, at times kind of left alone, or kids not behaving properly with him because he's special need and he doesn't respond to the questions they have or whatever they are talking. So there is some gap, you know. So should he keep facing that gap, or
So, Deji, I'm going to
should
answer
he get
this
back to the?
question more as a parent and not a professional,
Mhm.
because I faced a similar issue when it came to my son. And I was asked whether I would like to pull him out of school when he was in grade 9 and put him in a special school, but he was okay
Mhm.
with academics. So, my first question is, ask your child what he would like, whether he would like to move
Okay.
out or whether he'd like to be there. Most often, we don't ask them what they would want. I really think we need to ask our kids what they would like. My son wanted to stay back in the same school, so we let him be in the same school. And well, school is one small half of life we are talking about. Tomorrow he's going to be facing the world outside. Who all are you going to go and tell that make it more inclusive, make it more inclusive, make it more inclusive? It's not going to happen. What I would say is make your child more confident, make your child verbalize what he would want, what he likes. Let him have a small group of friends, even if it means he has one friend. Let him. My son did not have any friends through his school and college years, but today he's got some friends. He's 28. He thinks back about his school days and he wishes that he did have friends. He thinks he did have friends. If he's here today, Parikshit, I'm sorry I'm talking about you, but I feel that's the best way to let other parents know. He always felt he did not have friends, but they all were supportive of him. They may not be able to pull him out and talk to him the way he would have wanted. It's the same for your child. But I would say make your son stronger, because school is just one part of his life. But you definitely need to ask him whether he wants to change his school or not. And when it comes to life skills, I would say as parents, you all do what is required at home with him. Because he's good with academics. If a child is not good with academics, my answer will not be what I'm telling you.
Urmila ma'am, over here, I have a question because my condition is. Hello?
Sorry, I lost your voice. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am. I said I have a question, and my condition is similar to that of sirs. Like my daughter is academically bright to the extent that she won the Olympiads, Crest Olympiads. But
Fabulous.
at the same time, ma'am, the problem is that she is not having friends. And like she is a loner. So sometimes when and my second question is, like, she is going to a regular school. Now they have a ratio of 9:1, or perhaps 8:2, like 8 regular kids, two neurodivergent kids. So one of them has Down syndrome, the other has like she is there in of autism. So, ma'am, the thing is that she does not tell me. I have two concerns. One, that she doesn't have any friends. There is only a single boy, and that too, like I pleaded with him कि मतलब उसको कई बार बोलो कि मतलब because she is good in language, she understands. And when I asked her for, she tells me I started with visual schedules. Now she has surpassed that. Now she understands verbal commands. इसके बाद ये होगा, उसके बाद वो होगा. So good and so far. Lekin why she tells me she doesn't have any friends apart from the kids at the school are supportive. Secondly, ma'am, she doesn't tell me what happened in between the lines. For example, when I say what happened, so if there is no test, supposedly 3 tests are there, one test hasn't been done, तो बोलेगी वो टेस्ट नहीं हुआ, मैम नहीं आई. But in between the lines कि मतलब बीच में आज एक नया बच्चा आया था, like मैम, like we used to talk कि आज एक नया बच्चा आया था, उसे फीवर था, या आज तो पता है वंशिका के बारे में स्कूल में ये बात हुई. ये इन बिटवीन द लाइंस हाउ टू, मतलब वो उससे कैसे एक्सट्रैक्ट करवाना. माय क्वेश्चन वन. सेकेंडली, शी हैज एक्सेप्शनली गुड इंटरेस्ट इन कंप्यूटर्स. शी नोस कोडिंग अ बिट. तो प्लीज टेल मी, मतलब वेयर आई शुड अप्रोच. लाइक शी इज अबाउट 9.5 years old. तो अब मैं, क्योंकि मुझे किसी ने डाटा एनोटेशन के बारे में बोला था फॉर न्यूरोडाइवर्स किड्स, बट वो डाटा एनोटेशन से ऊपर उठ चुकी है, मतलब अपने क्लास में भी और में भी ब्राइट है. तो मैम, मैं इसके मतलब कंप्यूटर को इस स्टेज पे कैसे वो कर सकती हूँ, क्योंकि शी सेज आई वांट टू बी कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर, मतलब कंप्लीटली वर्बली बताती है, और उसको मनी का भी सेंस है. अगर मैं बोलती हूँ ये टॉय मत खरीदो, मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है, तो मतलब शी विल नॉट बाय ऑन दैट डे. अदर डे शी विल आस्क मी, पैसे हैं, पैसे हैं, ऐसे है. सो मैम, दिस इज माय, मतलब दीज टू आर माय थिंग्स कि एक फ्रेंड्स या वो कैसे बनाए, और दूसरा मैम यही कि उसे कंप्यूटर.
I caught on to one thing you said. तो मैं
यस मैम.
वो एक बार दोहराऊंगी. You said like how we can say between the lines, we can read between the lines, but do
यस
we
मैम.
have those challenges which your child has or today my son has? Reading between the lines is not simple, right? So I'm asking you, if your child is good with writing, why don't you ask your child to write and express to you? Probably verbally she'll not be able to. Maybe if she'll write and tell you what happened. And honestly, nowadays I don't think whether it's neurodiverse or neurotypical children like to come home and tell what it is that they've done at school. Am I right? If some of us have even neurotypical kids, you're going to know that they don't even want to come back and tell you what happened. If you ask, how was your day? Great. It was good. Did this teacher come? Yes. Did you have your test? No. You are the one who has to keep asking all those questions. So I'm just saying, don't expect her. If she is fine, it's you who's feeling bad. Half of the time, trust me, the problem is with us parents wanting, we are the ones who are feeling bad for our kids. I understand
Okay,
because
ma'am.
I went through that when my son was also very young. But my son is very happy by himself. And today I've accepted it that if that's the way he wants to be, why not? So once in a while, when he goes out with his cousins or he meets people, he's absolutely fine. I would say if your child is happy to be, if your child has expressed that she wants
Okay.
more friends or she wants more people around her, then I would say probably you make, maybe not with the school, maybe if you can in your community, if there's somebody who's around her age, call them home or see that you go there or you go watch a movie together or something that they like to do together, you can have. But otherwise, I
Okay.
think our kids, a lot of our kids, the ones who want to make friends will make sure they go and make friends, and the ones who want to be by themselves are definitely by themselves. My son is one such. He doesn't.
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
Now, for
Got
the
it. And
second thing which you've told me, I think Faiza or Yukta, you'll be able to help out. I don't know which city she's from, and I think you all have the connections where.
no, ma'am, if you tell me something of Hyderabad, I'll be able to reach Hyderabad or Delhi. Well, I reside in Lucknow, but probably there won't be much thing in Lucknow. If you can tell me anything of Hyderabad or Delhi, I'll manage.
Ritu ji, we do have a list of vocational centers in Lucknow,
Not
Delhi.
vocational centers. No, ma'am, not vocational center. Again, my
Computer skills,
question
na?
was computers, only with
Yes,
computers.
computer skills.
Because this time when I took her to matlab like these animation centers and all, they say कि we don't accept children, मतलब normal kids भी they don't accept before the before the मतलब class 10th मिनिमम वो होती है। तो मेरा मैम से क्वेश्चन ये है मैम कि मैं कंप्यूटर्स में और उसको, जैसे मैंने ऑर्कावेट में बात की थी दैट टीचर्स न्यूरो डाइवर्स किड्स, पर डेटा एनोटेशन वो ये मतलब डेटा एनोटेशन वाली स्टेज ओवर हो चुकी है। तो मैम मैं इसको कंप्यूटर्स में और क्या करा सकती हूँ, क्योंकि ये तो वर्बली एक्सप्रेस करती है दैट वन डे आई विल बी अ कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर, हर फादर वाज अ कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर, हर मतलब हु इज नॉट, मतलब हु इज नॉट अलाइव नाउ, मतलब तो शी सेज वर्बली। तो मैम अब इसको कंप्यूटर्स में, और क्योंकि हमें ये मालूम है कि अगर और बच्चों के साथ एकेडमिकली 5 आवर्स लगते हैं, तो इसको वही चीज को कॉन्सेप्ट को मास्टर करने में 10 आवर्स लगते हैं, ये प्रैक्टिकल फैक्ट है। बट मतलब तो मैम अब इसके कंप्यूटर्स के लिए अगर कुछ प्लीज आप या कोई इंस्टीट्यूशन की जो कि इन पर्टिकुलर इसको और थोड़े फ्यूचर रेडीनेस के लिए ओनली इन कंप्यूटर्स कर दे, मतलब एक्सेल शीट बनाना, डेटा शीट बनाना नहीं मैम, अब बिट हायर देन दैट इफ शी कैन गो।
Yukta, Faiza, you'll be able to help her with that?
Ma'am, I
She's
can
still in
help. I
Hyderabad.
can help her, ma'am.
Go ahead, Purva, why not? I mean, we're all
Ma'am, I can
mothers.
personally just share my number to her. I'll personally help her.
Faiza?
Ma'am, can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
Ma'am, actually, my son is 8.5 years old, and he doesn't speak.
Okay.
So he speaks only one word, and only on demand, like mama, baby, baba. Okay, and right now I'm putting him in a LKG because his schooling was very late because he doesn't speak and he was very hyperactive. जब मैंने इसको पहली बार स्कूल में डाला था तो ये बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब हाइपर एक्टिव था, घर पे ही शांत रहता है। और बाकी जब मैं सबसे पहले इसको नर्सरी में वहाँ डाला था बाहर, एक्चुअली वी आर फ्रॉम दुबई, तो वहाँ पर हम लोगों को नर्सरी से कोई कंप्लेन नहीं आई थी। बट जब मैंने इसको यहाँ पर प्रॉपर स्कूल में डाला, एक प्ले स्कूल में, देन वहाँ से बहुत कंप्लेंट्स आने लगी बिकॉज ये बैठता नहीं है एंड बहुत ज़्यादा हाइपर एक्टिव है, खुद को हर्ट करता है एंड ऑल। एंड दूसरी चीज, जब अभी मुझे एक स्कूल मिल गया है, लेकिन ये प्रॉब्लम यही आ रही है बिकॉज वो मैथ्स में बहुत अच्छा है, ही डज टेबल्स एंड एडिशन बाय काउंटिंग एंड ऑल दैट, बट ही डजंट स्पीक। तो अभी के लिए तो मैम ये एलकेजी और यूकेजी में कर लूंगी, आगे का क्या मुझे करना चाहिए? बिकॉज आई डोंट थिंक मैम कि उसका स्पीच लैंग्वेज अब उस लेवल तक डेवलप हो सकता है जो है, मे बी हो जाए इंशाल्लाह, बट आई मतलब लेट्स द अदर ऑप्शन।
Aksa, have you heard of the Awaz app? It's fabulous. You must try
Yes,
it.
I heard. I have it. I have it at home. I
So,
have it on my phone.
so have you been able to use that? Have you trained yourself to use that, to use the basic functional
I
words?
tried, but my son is not taking so much interest in that. He was using such, matlab, if I gave him phone, so he was using such kind of YouTube and whatever he likes to do, playing games and all.
Yeah, so what you need is you need to first put it on a tab and see that the tab has nothing else on it. No YouTube, no nothing on it. Our kids are too smart. We may say they
Yes.
have challenges with other things, but when it comes to all of this, they are fabulous. They know what to do. And
And
uh, I would say have a tab for it. Doing it on a phone might be a little tough. And
okay.
also don't have anything else on that tab. Begin with the functional words that are there. And once he begins to communicate with you, he'll definitely want to use that a lot more. Right now, he's probably getting everything done by just not saying things to you, so it's much easier
And
for
he
him,
was
right?
doing the by gestures. He's very smart actually, मैम।
Yeah.
जो आपने पहले बताया था कि वो मतलब बच्चों को readiness कैसे सिखाते हैं, तो he was doing him जैसे he is putting his books in his bag and he was removing shoes and putting his shoes in a proper place. He was doing it by himself. And I've asked him, go fill your bottle and keep it in the fridge. Go bring out your plate and bring a spoon and fork. So ये सब वो कर लेता है अपने आप, इन सारी चीजों में वो है। अभी
Oh,
मुझे प्रॉब्लम क्या आ रहा है, क्योंकि वो एकेडमिक में अच्छा हो सकता है बिकॉज ही कांट स्पीक एंड बिकॉज उसके अदर प्रॉब्लम्स की वजह से उसका एकेडमिक्स भी पीछे होता है। अगर मैं उसको नॉर्मल स्कूल में डालती हूँ तो भी वो लोग मतलब एक्सेप्ट पहली बात तो करते नहीं बिकॉज ही कांट स्पीक। वो लोग ये कहते हैं कि हाँ मतलब ये एडजस्ट नहीं कर पाएगा हमारे साथ और ये बैठता भी नहीं था। तो मुझे डालना पड़ा, बट अभी भी उसके लेवल से काफी कम एकेडमिक स्कूलिंग में चल रहा है। वो आगे बहुत कुछ कर सकता है। तो मेरा यही कंसर्न था कि जो उसका मेन लेवल है उस पर मैं कैसे काम करूँ घर पर या किसी और सेंटर, बिकॉज for me he is matlab he is like almost non-verbal. Maybe in at the age of 11 or 12 maybe he can speak a little bit, but right now what should I do?
Aksa, we've got a 22-year-old who's not verbal in communication. So at this age, we have started to work with the Awaz app. And even as something as small as a yes and a no, when he's able to do, he's actually able to he's not feeling as frustrated. Otherwise, what he would do if he wanted to communicate something which was a no, he would jump towards you, and that would really scare all of us because he's a tall boy. But the minute we've started the Avaz app with him and we show it to him, he himself goes to the tab and he presses his nose and his yes, and we've seen that anxiety and the stress has gone from him. So it's something as basic as these two words to begin with, a yes and a no about what they want, right?
Okay.
So I feel
Okay.
that have you trained yourself in the Avaz app?
A little bit. I tried.
You need to
I'm
train
also
yourself.
not using so much phone. When he sleeps, I use phone because otherwise he's asking for phones.
No,
So
it's
that's why.
better you use a tab for the Avaz app, and it really helps. We are seeing the changes in our students, so I think you should go ahead with that. And
Oh, okay.
once he's able to
I'll do it.
communicate with you, all the life skills that I've already mentioned are things you should start doing at a young age with him, because you're saying he's
Yes,
intelligent.
and some things he's doing by himself. Like you asked me, he doesn't know how to manage money and all.
Right,
But for his things he's doing, some of it he's doing by himself, like putting his books in in his bag, lunchbox, and water bottle. He knows everything.
right,
When he was going out, he was taking his bag by himself. He was changing his clothes and putting his. He doesn't know. Sometimes he doesn't know how to put on his shirt by himself because he doesn't know what is front, what is back.
right.
So, but he tried. But he's trying. But he was probably मतलब
I have
मेरी
a
help
question
मांग.
like my son is completely non-verbal. He can just say two words sentences, and he can understand and follow my instructions. Are there any vocation centers or vocations for this type of non-verbal kids?
Where are
Is my
you,
question is
Kalyani, and how old is your child?
Hyderabad and he is 12 years old.
He's 12 years old. There are many
Yes.
places. I think Nayi Disha has their resources where you can reach out to them. They'll tell you when if he's 12, there are many places which can help. There are quite a few places in Hyderabad.
They have shared me two centers, but I want to know more information from you. Vocations.
See, personally, I would say there are quite a few. So I can't even name like one or two for you, but there are quite a few centers which are helping towards vocational readiness, because you're saying he's just 12. If he was 15, I would have said come and explore with us. But he's still 12, and for vocational readiness, I think Yukta, you can probably give them a list of the centers which are there which can help.
Ma'am, Kalyani ma'am, please message on our helpline number. Team will share the list with you. Whatever
I
we.
got information. I got
Okay.
information from helpers,
Okay. Okay.
and they have given me two centers name also. And I'm very thankful to the team of Nayi Disha for guiding me to the right way. But I just wanted to know if there is more information from ma'am. And thank you, Nayi Disha, for guiding us in a very correct way. Thank
Ma'am,
you so much.
are
Thank you,
you
ma'am.
part of a support group? You can take more leads from other parents also in the
There
group.
are a lot more than two,
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Natasha can share. Probably they shared some place which is closer to your address or something.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have a question. So, like you told about, like you work with children, and I've been to few places where they'll be like doing vocational readiness. Like my son was going to a center in Gurgaon where they were preparing for like job readiness and all that stuff. Like, so usually it's like till 18 they'll not start that. After 18 they start. But one challenge I face is like if like your child is not in that age that he's ready for vocational kind of a thing. Like you told, there are a lot of skills. Like uh, as a parent, we all might be doing something or the other with the child. Like, okay, taught him to chop vegetables, load unload the dishwasher, like those things. But uh, for us, it's like, you know, things come in a very haphazard manner. We are not, it comes in a haphazard manner. Like we don't, like, it's like a lot of hits and trials, like, you know. So if there is like, you know, there could be a roadmap, like maybe if you do you do some home plan or something of that kind of a thing where like we could connect and follow that for a month, like depending on the.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because see, what you're saying, if your child is able to do certain things and he just needs a routine and consistency, we can help you build that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Because see, what you're talking about, um, loading, unloading the washing machine or whatever, they are life skills today, but tomorrow, I'm sure you worry as much as I do that what will happen tomorrow. So I make sure that my child is also learning all those skills. We teach a lot to our daughters, don't we, in Indian society, that she's going to get married tomorrow. So, you know, we want to teach her all that. All that we need to teach all our kids, whether they are neurodiverse or not. They need to know all of those skills today because we are not going to have, we are struggling with staff. Imagine tomorrow if they're living by themselves, how are they going to be able to manage with the staff? Someone says she's not coming for 5 days. If you don't teach them, trust me, they will live happily in that kind of a filth that will be created. But what about kids who have OCDs? How are they going to? So teach them the skills. I say empower them and they will not forget for sure. They'll definitely not forget. I would say
Okay.
have the basic menu, things that they like to cook. Teach them that and teach them in a visual way. We have recipe cards that we've made for them. Every single time they're cooking back at home, they keep their recipe cards and they're cooking. Whether it's loading, unloading of the washing machine, how to wash, everything is there visually with us. We have a folder for them. You can make a folder for your own child for the entire routine that he needs to follow. For that, first time management, you have to teach time, which has, you know, the reverse calculation of time from when he sleeps to when he wakes up. Then you go forward and say, what is it that you do when are you supposed to do it? And have one timetable set up for him. It'll
Okay.
work beautifully. So
But
not
like
an issue.
I feel like
Thank you.
somewhere it's like, you know, I might be expecting a lot, and then that leads to frustration on my end, and then I might kind of give up. Like, see, here we are talking about our children because we are teaching them life skills because we feel it's important. But given the fact that we live in India, we ourselves would be like, okay, yaar, maid laga lo aur kaam kar lo. But that seems the easiest way out. So going through that, you know, like I I just don't know if I'm able to like put across what I want. So I feel like if I'm trying to teach my son a skill, I don't know if, like, you know, I'm actually starting at S or T rather than starting at A. So he has been going to life skills at school and other things, but somehow he's not connecting it, and somehow the executive function is not, like, you know, has not developed. Like once I sent him to a store and I told him, you get this much of paneer. I even gave him a list. I gave him a phone, and there he went, and like I had asked him, and I had given him money for like good enough for 200 grams of milk, and he first told them, I want to buy 1 kg of paneer. Then when the store person said ki this much money is like itna amount hai, so then he got confused, and then he couldn't, like, you know, figure out what to do. Finally, he called me, and the storekeeper talked to me on speaker, एंड देन वो मेरा बात सुन के अकॉर्डिंगली उसको ऑर्डर दिया. सो यू नो, लाइक वही मैं कह रही हूँ कि वो ABC किस सीक्वेंस में होना चाहिए फॉर एनी लाइफ स्किल, because somewhere I feel like I start straight away at M or N, and then if he's not performing to that, um,
So Smriti, does your child know how to read?
yeah.
So instead of waiting for him to go and make a mistake of getting, instead of 200 grams, 1 kg of paneer and not feel good about it, why didn't you just write it on a slip of paper and give 200 grams of paneer?
I had given him the slip. I had given the slip.
Then
But
what
like,
happened?
it's just one, he didn't take it out. So he is like, where he feels, maybe I got a little late in teaching these skills, and now he doesn't want, he sees anybody telling him something as a control.
It's become
So
a
for
trigger
him,
for him, probably. Yeah. Is there somebody else who can teach him from where you are in Gurgaon? Is there anyone else who can teach? Because we see that with a lot of mothers. They reach, and then the relationship really goes down the slide. Yeah.
so he has a younger brother, but for the younger brother, he has this thing in his mind that I am the older one, so you don't please tell me, you don't control me, and he's noticing me, so he just wants like, let me be, don't tell me what to do, how to do, kind of. And I think that's typical teenage behavior. Every teenager, whether typical or neurotypical, would want to learn, explore on their own. But somehow, like, we are at that place where when I take him to a vocational center, people will tell him he's good, but somehow things don't
So
work.
obviously he requires more of executive function skills than the others. So if
Yeah.
you're okay with it, you can connect with us and probably we can help you with that for the executive functions, and we can try it out online with him.
Okay.
If he doesn't have ADHD, we can definitely try it online with him. Executive functions can be taught.
Okay. And I think Faiza, ma'am, you're from Nayi Disha, right? Can you please help me with some centers in Kolkata? Ma'am, I'm in Kolkata. Yeah. So some vocational centers in Kolkata, that would be really helpful.
Definitely, ma'am. You just message on our helpline number, okay, or call. If you want, you can ask them to connect to me. I'll talk to you. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
Urmila ma'am, do you
Parents, I'm
also?
really sorry. We are so much above time.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I think it just stretched.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. The session is really going really well, and parents have so many questions, and the questions are quite different, and it's
Was
good
it?
to see so much.
Just one question, ma'am. Only one question. Just for speech, there is, you said, ki there is one app that is Avaz. So,
Right.
is there any app for reading and writing? If you have any, I mean, please tell me. My daughter is facing problem in reading and writing. She's good in maths.
Okay. Would you not, which city are you from, Neha?
Bhopal.
Bhopal.
Ma'am,
So,
can
I
I
mean,
answer this question? Uh, my daughter really enjoys this app. It is from RV Studios and it is free of any kind of advertisement. It is called as Lucas and Ruby. And perhaps if you say, I'll share the link in the Nudisha Center. And ma'am, one thing I more wanted to say that besides Avaz, there is one Jello app also. And that is free of cost. Like I tried it at one point of time. So I'm just sharing.
what's it
Tripti,
called?
it would be great that अगर आप वो ग्रुप में शेयर कर दें, वेबिनार वाला ग्रुप है जो
Okay, done, ma'am. And Urmila, ma'am, do you provide a home plan also for people who are outside Hyderabad and who want to avail your service?
I've never tried it, but I mean,
Ma'am,
if
please
you
think
don't.
about it. People who have daughters, at least think about those मतलब differently able daughters.
No, I totally understand, but I would just say first check with Nayi Disha. If you have something in your city, it always helps. If the child goes and interacts with people and is able to, get what
Ma'am,
is required.
the
But if
problem is
not,
perhaps in Hyderabad, Delhi, there are a lot of centers, but when it comes to two-tiered cities, well, Lucknow, Muradabad, or matlab maybe in small cities, you don't have much of the vocational center. Also, those matlab, which are there, they are of no good. Matlab, I'm not saying about every, but most of them, they are not that good. और मतलब maybe वो बहुत outdated आप बोल सकते हो.
if you're okay, Faiza, Yukta, if you can share my number, I'll see how I can help her out for sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, parents. I think, like I said, we have so much overtime.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Urmila ma'am, for such a great session. It was very insightful. Parents also learn a lot. Even we learn a lot. Parents, thank you so much for taking out time and joining and put it out your questions. That's really we are thankful for. And parents, if you want, parents who have not joined the group, they can join the webinar group. We have shared the link of the WhatsApp group. And you can ask question there also. We will take it to the helpline team, or however we can help, we will help you. Also, we will share Urmila's ma'am center's Instagram handle in that group also, so that you can take more inspiration from her Instagram handle. Whatever the team puts it out, you can take more inspiration from them.
क्वेश्चन तुम लिखो, हम अभी नीचे चल रहे हैं.
Okay, and yeah, and please reach out to our helpline team. We do have a directory where we have vocational centers based in various locations. So however the team can support you, we will definitely ask them to support you. Okay. Thank you.
Pastor ma'am, please share Urmila's ma'am's number if it's possible.
We will, yeah, if Urmila ma'am is comfortable, we'll definitely
But
share
I'll
that.
give you the Flipside number. You can share that
Yeah.
with.
Sure,
Okay.
ma'am. Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
parents.
you.
Have a great weekend.
Just going through the questions.
There's no question. I have gone through it.
Yeah. And you guys should do something about parent burnout. It's very real and very frustrating.
Yes, we have done it
Talking
last
about
year.
it. Yeah.
Have taken this topic. I think this year also we will work on this burnout topic.
Yeah, because
We usually do it on Mental Health Day, October.
Okay.